Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Amanda of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my craft room. In today's video we're going to be making some any size gift bags. Now this is video 2 of 2, so this is the second and final part. In my previous video we made these bags which started out with 12 by 12 card paper, 10 by 10 and 8 by 8. So in the description below, if you're on YouTube or on my blog, you'll be able to see there'll be links to these bags and all the instructions, the video and everything. So that's what we made last time. So let me show you what we're going to make this time. So this is actually where the little bag started. I had lots of pieces of 6 by 6 paper, and I wanted to make some bags, and this is what I came up with. So this size bag is for 6 by 6. Then, oh, doesn't want to come out. This one is 4 by 4. This one is 3 by 3, and then the little kind of bonus project is this one. Now this is 2 by 2. It's crazy size. It is really, really tiny. It's just over an inch tall and wide, so very, very tiny. You could get like a tiny pair of earrings or something in there, maybe half a dozen jelly beans if you wanted to, but I will show you how to make this one. All of the bags are made in exactly the same way. It's just the paper that you start with and the scoring lines are slightly different. So I'm going to show you all 4. So let's get started. So we're starting out with this fantastic dinosaur paper. My children loved dinosaurs, I know, growing up, and anything with dinosaurs to my mind is a winner. So I'm going to use this for the 6 by 6 bag and some coordinating ribbon which is in crushed curry, and this is the stitch satin, which is fabulous. What I am going to do is start out making the bags. I'm probably not going to put the ribbon on all of them just to save time, but we will go as speedily as we can. Now don't worry if you can't write down the measurements as we go. There will be a PDF both on YouTube and on my blog so that you can download everything, and you'll have all the measurements there so that you can just refer to it when you're crafting. I'm using my Simply Scored board, and I used a bit of washi tape to hold my score tool in. Now just so you know, the score tool actually has 2 ends. So this end here is the fine end. It's quite a small rounded end, and then this is what I class as the fat end. This is for using on paper, patterned paper and vellum, and then this one, the smaller one, is for on cardstock. It just evens out the pressure. You're less likely to tear it if you're using this one. So the measurements are 1.5 on 3 sides. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 3/4 of an inch, and exactly the same on this side, on this piece. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 3/4. Now, whilst I've got the paper here, let me just show you. You need to make sure that you know which way up your paper needs to be. So I want the dinosaurs obviously to be stood up correctly, and this piece is going to be the bit that folds over. So the 3 sides that are the larger measurement are the sides and the base, and the smallest one is the top. So when you're orientating your paper, putting your paper into your scoreboard, just make sure it's the right way round. So let's go there. Now make sure you use a bone folder to go over all of your score lines. It's really, really important when you're making bags or boxes, anything 3D. And to be honest, even if you're making a card, it's really good to go over your score lines and reinforce them. So using the scoring tool actually puts the crease in it or the score line in it. Using the bone folder actually reinforces it. So we're going to put a little bit of glue here on the two top pieces so they are stuck down. Let me do that one. And then we're going to cut the bags. So this side, this first side, we're going to cut these square pieces off. And don't throw these away. You could make a matching card or a tag to go with it. And then on this piece, we're going to cut on the horizontal line. Now what that's actually going to do is it's going to give us some flaps, and so that we can put these pieces together and make the bag. And it really is very, very straightforward and simple. So you fold that back and put the glue on there. Just line everything up, pop that down. Then we're going to put a little bit of glue on here. And I actually like to fold this up like this. And it just means that the sides and the base are all square. Just squash it all in together, and then this piece is going to come round like that. So all you're going to do is put a little bit of glue here, and there we go. So that piece is just going to go there, and that piece is just going to go there. Okay, now occasionally I've got a tiny extra piece of paper here. I'm just going to trim that off. It can be sometimes you just the paper is a tiny bit too long when you're cutting, so don't worry. You can just trim that off. So that's so cute. Woolly mammoths and everything. So then I'm just going to put the ribbon on. So let's get a couple of pieces of ribbon. And a punch. Now you can, of course, carefully measure where you're going to put your ribbon. If you've seen any of my videos before, I don't tend to carefully measure where I'm putting my ribbon. I just eyeball it, and it's usually fine. I've just cut the ribbon into a point just so it's easy to thread it through, and then just tie an overhand knot. So I'm not doing anything fancy. All I want to do is prevent the ribbon from pulling out of the other side. So I can just do that, and that will work. Right, now I've cut that ribbon way too long. Let me just cut that off there. Much too long. Right, you do need a little bit of extra so that you can actually pull it and tie a knot in it. But you don't need as much as I had there. So snip that last bit off. Yeah, look there. So let me just do the other side so you can see one completed. And then I will get on to the next set of sizes. So quick overhand knot there. And again. snip off the extra and then pull that through, and there you have it. So there is your first bag. There's a different variation. You can see on this bag here there are pinch points here. All I've done is I've put my fingers in there and squashed, and that means that you can actually make the bag flatter and you can make sort of more of a gusset piece here. I'm going to leave this one square. Okay, so I'll pop that one there so you can see that. Right, let's scoot that over. Right, now let's do the next size. So this is 4 by 4 inches. So that's this size. Hang on. I didn't tell you how big this was. This bag actually measures 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches. This one, which uses the 4-inch pieces of paper, will be 2 by 2.5 inches. That's going to be your finished size. All of the papers that I'm using for all of the bags are, there'll be links in the description and on my blog. So if you see the papers and you fall in love with them and you want them, you can shop online with me, and you'll be able to just click on the button and it'll take you straight to the online store. Okay, so this is 4 inches by 4 inches. So we're scoring at 1 inch on 3 sides. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then 1/2 inch on the last side. And the same on this one. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch. Okay. So I love this. This is lemon lime twist. I've been entertaining my customers and my team members actually lately because I keep calling this Lucky Limeade, this green. It's not Lucky Limeade. Lucky Limeade was a Stampin' Up colour that we had a while ago. And I'm actually about to celebrate my 10th birthday with Stampin' Up. So every now and again I get my colours confused because the name or the colour is similar to something that we've had in the past. So Lemon Lime Twist and Lucky Limeade in my head are kind of very similar. So I've been calling it the wrong colour, but I'm doing it right today. So this is Lemon Lime Twist, which is a beautiful green. Okay, let's get the glue on that piece there. So that's the folding over flap. It's important that you know it's almost my 10th birthday because there will be some special things happening around my 10th birthday. So you will have to keep watching my videos and going onto my blog and seeing what kind of celebrations we're going to have. 10 years. Been doing this for 10 years. Well, I've been paper crafting for 30 something years, but I've been with Stampin' Up since they launched in Europe actually, which is 10 years ago in November 2017. Right, so let's get on with the bag. So again, I've cut the 2 little pieces off, and then this piece is going to stick onto the base, just like that. You can actually stick it the other way. Sometimes I do. It's up to you. The bag will be the same, whichever kind of way you go round. So those pieces are going in there like that. Now, as the bags get smaller, they get a bit more fiddly. So you just have to be a little bit more patient when you're holding things and gluing things, and make sure you really do crease everything well with the bone folder. just to give yourself a bit more of a chance of actually holding things together. All right, so let's fold this piece up and round, up and round. There we go. That's that one. That's that one. See, it doesn't want to stick today. Tombow sticks everything, so it will stick. Just have to encourage it. Okay, so there's your next little bag. What I've actually got this time, it's actually the same ribbon as this one actually. This is lovely. This is called Natural Trim, and it's vanilla with gold running through it. So at the end of the video, I'll put a link to my blog, and there'll be pictures of all of the bags all completed. So that one will be there. Okay, so next size. This is 3 by 3. Did I measure this one yet? No. So this one is almost 2 inches by 1.5 is the finished size. Okay. Now I want to make sure that my flowers are the right way, and that's this one, and I'm going to score at 3/4 inch on 3 sides and 1/2 inch on one. Make sure my flowers are the right way. 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch. So exactly the same, all of the bags exactly the same. But you'll see as they are getting smaller, which is why this tiny bag is a bonus project for you. I wasn't going to do it, but I had several comments about, oh, that little bag is so cute, we really want to see it. So I thought, well, I better show it to you, but it is fiddly. So that's that piece, and that's that piece. Now we're going to cut the little squares from this one, and then the horizontal lines here. And actually this time I'm going to stick this one on the inside. And that just sits like that. And what that actually does is it gives you only sort of one seam on the outside, which it depends on the pattern as well. Actually, for a lot of the bags, you won't see it just because the pattern is busy. But if you've got a plainer bag, you might want to do that so that you can actually hide it a bit better. So just fold that in. And then we have this side and this side. And we're just going to fold those in like so. It doesn't help when you get Tombow on your fingers and the cardstock sticks to your fingers. Okay, so there is that bag. So that is the 3-inch bag. Again, I've got some lovely ribbon. So this ribbon is the Whisper White, and I'm not sure which one this is actually. So I will pop it on the screen for you so you actually know what it's called. But as I said before, there'll be shopping links in the description, so don't worry, you'll find out which one it is. And now to the teeny, 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 weeny one. Okay. Now the first hint and tip I will say is, I've been saying to you all along, use this fat end for the scoring. What I'm going to suggest that you do for this really small bag is use the finer end, but just go really, really gently with it. And you are going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides and 1/4 inch at the top. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, ooh, and 1/4 inch. And this, you'll be able to see, hopefully you'll be able to see, this is one of the reasons why it's so fiddly. When you're scoring, you really need to make sure that the paper is really tight up against the corner and that it's not moving around. Now, the reason that I've suggested that you use the smaller end is because if you use the fatter end, the curve in the paper where you've scored it actually, how can I describe it? It actually can make the lines go slightly off, and it can only be a tiny millimetre or less, a percentage of a millimetre. But actually, when you're working on something this small, it makes a difference. So the finer score line is better. You do have to really, really work at these score lines as well. And again, make sure that you're actually scoring on the score lines. It's really easy when you're working with a tiny piece of paper to go off the score line. So, if you can hear jingling, Kiva's just woken up. Those of you that don't know, Kiva's my border terrier. And she's actually been sleeping underneath the table while I've been videoing, but she's decided that she wants to stretch. So the jangle that you can hear is her name tag on her collar as she's wandering around. I think I might have to get her to do a guest spot on one of my videos. Right, so I have put glue on the top little piece here. And I'm going to cut the the little squares out. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to cut a tiny wedge shape off that as well, just to help with the folding. And then with this one, I'm going to cut the 2 horizontal lines, and again I'm going to cut a tiny wedge. Can you see? Can you see that tiny wedge shape there? That's just, again, just to help with the folding. So let's stick this piece on here. Like that. I'm going to fold these pieces in. And fold it up like that. That's 1. And that's 2. And just make sure it's square on the base here. Just lift that up a little bit. And then you're going to put the glue here as well, and then that piece is going to go around those edges. Yeah, just hold that tight. And there we go. So there is the second teeny tiny box, and as I said before, it's 1.25 inches by 1 inch, so it really is tiny. Now I've got some baker's twine. There's a pool party in this paper, which I think will make really pretty handles. So I am actually going to do that, but I think I'm going to need a needle to thread it through the holes. So I will do that, and then you'll be able to see all of the bags on my blog. So let me just show you all the ones that I have made today. So that's that one, this one, and this one, and then the teeny tiny one. And those are the original bags there. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. My website or blog is www.inspiringinkin.com. Over there you'll find lots more creative inspiration, links to my online store, and the downloadable PDF for all the measurements. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel, that way you will always find out about my new videos first. I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.